Mr. Scary Studios.
I used to live in a small building downtown. One of the reasons I moved out was the bad neighborhood, including this guy in an apartment right over mine. It was a weird looking fella who mostly kept to himself, around midnight though. There was frequently a strange noise that got on my nerves. It wasn't loud, to be fair, but I have really light sleep, so it was hard to get my eyes shut with those. Little bumping sounds going on and on. It reminded me of high heels walking about, but not as loud, as if the person causing the noise was actually trying to be silent. After a few days, I realized the pattern was always the same, like a recording playing over and over, with random intervals in between. And that went on for the best part of a year. Always the same sequence of bumps, slowly tattooed in my mind. Sometimes for hours straight during the night. It was only several years later, helping my daughter with her homework, that I learned a little bit of Morse code. She knocked on the table with her knuckles, and a shiver immediately went through my spine as I recognized the exact pattern. When I'd asked her what it meant, she laughed. "It's the easiest one, Daddy," she said. "It's the one to call for help." There is a monster down below me. It's almost funny, like something a kid would say. But it's true now, and even if I had enough air in my lungs to laugh, even if I could make a sound without telling her where I am, I wouldn't, because if I started to think, I couldn't stop. I am upside down here and as helpless as a half-born baby. The rock walls squeezing me are almost like an embrace. If I think about it like that, I can keep the panic down a little, but it always comes. The choking, cloying panic where I push and trying to wiggle my way down or up. And then my legs flail, almost out of my control. In the utter blackness, I should save my strength, but maybe moving, the only free parts of me, is what's kept me alive inside. It's almost funny. I've been craving for 5 years with my wife, and never once got anything but a bump or scrape or cut. All it takes is one wrong turn. She was thinner than me, just barely made it through the passage that I'm stuck in. Lucky her. And down below the monster, she paces and screams, babbles and squeaks. It's an unhuman sound, like a machine that needs oiling, or a voice on the radio distorted by a storm. And I know she's in pain. I know she's hungry. But she already has my wife. Why can't she wait to die? I decided days ago, I think, that I wouldn't wait. The thirst and hunger aren't the worst. Not the helplessness or the fear. It's knowing that there's no way out. And it's down below. And that I'm going to take it. And finally, I work up the courage to speak, and it's choking out like bile. But out it comes. "Honey, I still love you. She's coming now. I can't wait." The soft spot on my wife's head, where her skull must have fractured, where her brain must be bleeding and damaged. What's in her mind now? Does she remember me? Or does she only know the same hunger I feel, trapped for so long? I will find out. She should have died, and maybe in a way she did, but her body's still moving. And I can feel her broken teeth touch my throat. We should have dropped something down the passage, seen how long the fall was. At least now we know how deep it is. Not deep enough, though. I'm more pissed than creeped out about this situation. It just happened about an hour ago. I'm visiting LA with my best friend. The rental was running on empty, so I stopped at the first gas station to fill it up. I'm from New Jersey, and as you may know or may not know, an attendant fills our gas for us. With that being said, I do know how to fill my own gas tank. I pull up to the gas station, and first thing my friend and I see is a dark, scruffy looking man. I decide to wait until he leaves to get out of my car. Did he leave? Nope. Instead, he walks halfway towards my car, so he's about 10 feet away from us and starts talking to me. I'm yelling through my window, "What the fuck do you want? Leave me alone." My friend starts freaking out, and at this point I'm wondering if he works there because he keeps pointing to my gas tank. He walks all the way to the window. My friend is starting to have a panic attack and continues talking and signaling. He wanted to get in the back seat. I responded, why? And he goes, "Because you're beautiful and I just want to ride with you." He continues to try to get in the back seat as I'm yelling at him to get the fuck away from us. Then he starts asking for my number, and I tell him politely he can't have it. He reaches for his pants, and I honestly thought he was either going to, 1, pull out a gun, or 2, pull out his junk. Eventually he backed off, but I was too scared to get out of my car and drove off to the next closest gas station. So, creepy guy at the gas station, thank you for making me appreciate living in New Jersey, where I don't have to exit my car and deal with freaks like you. When I was a kid, we did a school project where we wrote messages and put them in bottles and threw them in the ocean. I think I was in 4th grade. You were supposed to put your name and address of the school and ask whoever found it to write back. I added a note on mine that I hoped my bottle would go very far away. I had completely forgotten all about this until today, when I was walking on the beach and saw an old bottle sticking out of the sand. I picked it up and opened it, and my 4th grade message was inside, with another message written below it. "Hello, Bobby," it said. "Your bottle went very far indeed. We're coming for you. It's night now, and I'm in my bed, and I can't sleep. I hear wet thumping noises downstairs, and the house reeks of salt water. I wish I'd never sent that bottle." Mother looked over me, letting out a gasp, then fell into my father's arms as he held her. "Is this?" I heard an unfamiliar voice speak out from around me. My father quickly answered him with, "Yes, that's her." I heard from my mother that muffled sentence, "My baby, 2, 3, maybe more." Every vowel was interrupted with sobbing. The sobbing of someone that, "No, no, Mom, I'm fine." I muttered. I know I said it, but I didn't feel my mouth move at all. I didn't feel the crackle in my voice. Why couldn't I speak? The accident was bad, but we don't know the cause of true death yet. The autopsy will tell everything in time. I am sorry for the loss. Saddens me to see an angel leave this world. The voice around me spoke as I heard a zipping sound. Then I felt a pinch as a part of my breast get caught in the zipper. I could still feel pain. I have tried to call more often than not, but you won't pick up the phone. You have to know that I'm all you got, and I know that you are all alone. So please stop crying when I knock at the door and scream at me to leave. I don't want to leave you limp on the floor. Tonight I don't want to grieve. This is going to be a short personal story. I was a volunteer who taught English via Skype to a group of kids in the Middle East. I did not want to be more specific than that. It was 2 years ago when ISIS was rapidly expanding. A group of 30 kids, everyone in the class was on edge. They were mostly Christians and had nowhere to go. They knew ISIS would have no mercy on them. I was getting torn inside by despair and did not know how to help them. We had video conversations where I taught them basic expressions, cultural stuff, what have you. I tried to show them a better world as much as I could do it under the circumstances. In the middle of one of those classes, a group of the militants burst into the classroom. The last image I saw, still ingrained in my mind, was that of a local English teacher. She had a terrified expression on her face. She knew that slavery was the best she could have hope for. I tried to find her, but I am pretty sure she is dead, burned alive. There is no need to make up stories. Life writes the most twisted horror scenarios. I have a monster that lives with me. He's not invisible like some other monsters. Everything else about him is like monsters people know about. Like the bad smell, the dirty claws, and what he does at night. He shows up and stares at me. Sometimes I wake up and he's just there, just staring. Sometimes he does more than that. He sometimes crawls in bed with me and scratches me with his claws. I can smell him and he smells really bad. I try telling Mommy, but she doesn't believe me. She tells me it's a bad dream. But he's real, and Mommy sees him too. She doesn't believe me when I point him out. He laughs at me and says I'm playing pretend. He ruffles my hair and says, "Get stepdaddy another beer, will ya?" If someone is willing to pay for something, someone else is willing to sell it. It began simply enough for me, selling a little dope every now and then. The money was good, and the lifestyle appealed to my nature. Fuck the man and all that. Eventually, I began selling guns. My clientele changed, and so I hired a big guy to back me up. Bodyguards, if you will. I opened a bar to front my clandestine business. And business was good. So good, in fact, that I expanded. Today I offer all sorts of services, supplies, and substances. I can find you a doctor for an illicit operation. I can supply your gang with untraceable weapons and ammo. I can find someone to kill your ex. Want to get high? I can still get that for you, too. I can find a kidney for your sick kid. I can get you a date with a shy, pretty foreign girl, all for a price. And that's why yesterday, when a sick, strange-looking little man came up to me asking for a standing order of one child a week for the next year and a half, I said, "Sure thing, mister. It's just business." Caroline is sitting on the couch home alone, watching movies and eating popcorn with her dog. Her parents are at a fancy dinner party. A car door slams next door, and the dog jumps up and bounds away. She finishes the last of the popcorn and gets up to make more, when she hears the faucet dripping in the bathroom. This is one of her pet peeves, too. Turn it off. She goes to turn it off. As she enters the bathroom, she sees blood all over the tile floor. Her eyes slowly move up to the shower head, where her terrier is hanging by a slit in its neck. Blood dripping to the bathtub base, and "You're next" written on the wall in blood. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.